Hi everybody. So first and foremost, thank you all so much for liking that last video. It barely got any views. Okay, which I mean I'm not surprised about, but what I was surprised about was the fact that it got a lot more likes than I was expecting. Like that video, it didn't get a lot of views, but it got more, it got more likes than some of my other videos that I have where my likes are showing, and I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. Um, so I will say thank you, to the people who did like that video. If you hear noises, my refrigerator's making noise. I have an ice machine next to the refrigerator that's that way, and that thing makes noises. So hopefully, stuff doesn't make too much noise that is going to be too distracting throughout the video. Um, and the second thing I wanted to, so second thing, third thing, I lost count. But I did want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who are watching me. Thank you, for the women who support the channel, who like my channel. For anybody who watches this channel, because I always say it all the time. Like anytime people subscribe to me, I'm like surprised. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, holy shit. Like again, I never thought this channel was gonna get past like 20 people subscribe to me. So the fact that I have a few hundred people that are subscribed to me, I don't even know how to respond to that. I really do. I mean, I appreciate it. I do. But I still don't know how to respond to it. Okay? Because I don't think that I don't think that I know that I'm not the most entertaining person. So the fact that there's people who like what I have to say, thank you. Thank you for all those things. What are we talking about today? I don't know what I'm going to name this because I don't know what direction I'm going to go into it with. But this video is for, what I say it's for the ladies, it should mostly be for the ladies. Because I feel like women put themselves last, okay? And I feel like we are conditioned to put ourselves last, all right? I think that the way our society is built, in most cases, women have no choice to an extent. I don't know if using the words no choice is the right choice of words, but to an extent it's not, right? Because if a woman has, let's use women who have children, because this is Mother's Day, so I am going to be referring to women who have children, but I am going to be referring to women in general, even women who don't have children. But for women who do have children, and in order to live, basically, there needs to be two incomes in most cases. And how are, you going to live that soft life? I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom, okay? I don't know if I consider my life a soft life. I mean, to an extent it can be, but it's not common, and I know that. And I know that women have to go out there, and in a way they have to compete and be in a society and in a world where they are competing with not only just other women, with men. And they're in the workforce, and then they have to, after they do a full day's work, they have to come home and take care of their kids, and they have to take care of the house, and they got to take care of the cooking and the cleaning, and studying with their kids, and making sure the kids' homework is all done, and all of those things that we have to do as mothers already. And the term for that is double burden, because I learned that in college ages ago, and I've spoken about that term before. My refrigerator is making noise again. So and I understand that in that way, that women, I can see why women, to an extent, do I want to use the word that they're becoming, because I'm not the only person who says, there's a lot of different content creators that are saying this, to what I'm about to say, that are saying this, right? And there's a lot of women who are becoming more masculine because of these things. And it's not even necessarily out of, sometimes I feel like it could be out of choice, yes. But sometimes I could see how the way things are structured, how women feel like they have no choice but to be like that, right? Because it's nothing but work, work, work. Like there's no rest, there's no breaks, right? And so like that constant work, in my opinion, like that non-stop hustle, this might sound sexist to some people, I don't care, but physically I don't think women are built for that. And I've heard other women say that, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm the only one that's saying that, because I know that I'm not. But physically, we're not built for that. Me with the kids, oh my God, did you know? Let me tell you people, I had to ask. I had to be like, not ask, I had to demand. I had to be like, look, I want to do a video. I told my husband, like, look, I want to do a video. Like, I know you're working. I know you got a lot of things to do, but today he has off. Okay, so don't think I'm like, stop your job and let me just do videos. No. So today he had off. And I'm like, look, but even when he has off, he still likes to do other work stuff, work related things. And I'm like, look, stop with the emails, take the baby out, get out of the house. I want to do it because I wanted to do stuff here. I don't want my son running around. I don't want him making noise in the background or none of that. I wanted to feel free in my speech and do my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like even doing that, like, and I'm home all the time. And there's people that'll be like, look, I know this lady who's a content creator and she has 17 kids by 18 different fathers and she has 6 jobs and she's still a full-time content creator. Wonderful for her. That's great. You know, that's kudos to her. Kudos to that. Physically, I don't have it in me. I don't. Like even with my son is non-stop. Oh my God. He is a man's man already. He's only 3 years old, but he is a man's man. He likes doing boy things, dangerous things, jumping off the things, jumping off of high things, hitting people. Not like hitting, not violent. He's only 3, you know? But, you know, he likes, he's very much a boy. Like he's full of energy. And I'm grateful for that, you know? But at the same time, at the end of the day, I just want to fall asleep. I just want to sleep. And, you know, I don't have it in me. And, you know, there's people that maybe they have whatever. Who knows? What I'm saying is that not all of us women, I think most women are not built for that constant hustle life. Now, I'm not saying, now there's women who have like online businesses and stuff like that where it's a whole lot easier. And that's, to me, that's different, right? I'm thinking more of like you have to physically be outside of the house, be at an office job or, you know, something like that where you're gone all day. And then sometimes women take second jobs that are outside of the house and then they got to come home and do things. And I know that with some women, if they're single moms, this, you know, it's different. And it's understandable why they, you know, why they might be rough. And like, that's why I give grace to people like that, because it's like, I know that it gotta be so difficult as a woman if you're working more, even working several jobs, you don't, you know, and if you're a single mother and that's what you have to do for your survival, for your kids' survival. In a way, you have to tap into that masculine energy, right? In order to continue, just even to survive, because essentially you are in survival mode, right? So in a way, like that masculine energy is probably going to transfer when you're going out into the world and you may not even realize it, right? But that's why I try like to not be so hard on women that can be on the masculines. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to look, let me tell you something. What I'm saying is, to an extent, give them grace. Now, I'm not saying if they start picking on you and shit like that or whatever, that's a different we're not talking about that. You know, we're talking about like if they're a little bit rough around the edges and you can tell that they got to do a lot of things just to survive. What do you expect? You know? And I think that there's so many women out there that are living like that, because there's a lot of single mothers out there of all different backgrounds. Because let me tell you, where I live is predominantly white, and I see the single mothers out here too. Okay? And they're in a way similar in energy to other women. I would say black and brown women, you know, they're always like, you know, kind of like the face of, you know, single motherhood and all that shit or whatever. And then they try to make, oh, you're so masculine because you're a single mother and this and this and that. And let me tell you, that's because you guys are not around other races of women enough to see that they also get like that too. If they have to be tapping into a masculine energy in order to survive, what do you expect? You know? And I think that people don't think that way. And it's like, there's really not much that you can expect because they're in survival mode, and being in, you know, in that masculine energy is what's helping them go on, right? So, you know, I would say, you know, we need to give a lot of grace to those women. And I would even say society needs to give grace to people who are stay-at-home moms. Fuck it, I said it. Because I feel like, you know, we're treated like, because there's those women that have no choice but to do so much, we're the ones that are treated like, oh, because she's doing so much over there, or because my mom worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and she had 7 kids and took care of all of us, now I think it's your job as a woman to do that too. No, it's not. No, it's not. So, and I know, again, that that's controversial to hear, because people, you know, I know a lot of people want to hear like, yeah, no, go out, go hustle, go do this, go do that. And no, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Now, again, if you have to do it, fine. Now, if you want to do it, like if you want to work outside the home, and if you want to, I totally get that too, you know, totally understandable. But I would say, especially when your children are small, like if you don't have to be out there, don't do it. You miss so much too when your kids are small. Like my son is going to be going to pre-K4 next year, and every time I think about it, I'm like, on the one hand, I'm happy, and on the other hand, I'm like, oh no, you know, like he's getting so big. I did a video showing him when he was born, you know, like not when he came out of me, but you know, like I have a video of like me holding him when he was a baby. And sometimes like if I scroll through like my old videos and I see that, I'm like, oh my God, my baby got so big, you know. And I feel the same way about my daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, soon she's gonna be going into junior high school in another like year or so. Like I don't want to think about it, you know. Like in a way, yes, I'm happy about it. Yes, to an extent, it's gonna allow me some freedom, right, to be able to do things for myself. But then at the same time, I'm like, oh man, you know, they're growing up too fast for me. They're so cute. And I guess I just want them to stay cute, but they need to grow, and they need to be full-on productive adult humans. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying my best to put them first, and also when I put them first, I also try to put myself first. And again, I think that we're not conditioned to put ourselves first. We're not. Sorry, I just made my whole camera move when I just did that movement. But we're not. And it's something that we have to start training ourselves to do more. And I would say for the moms who are watching me, who do have to work, who do have to do all those things, and you know, you may not have the time for yourself, try to make the time for yourself. Try to, even if it's in the morning or if it's at night, try to give yourself a little something for yourself, something so you can kind of like break away, or kind of take a break, better words, take a break from being in that energy, you know, where you have to just kind of go all the time, you know, because it's no good for you, and your body's gonna break down. And I have women in my own family, like even my grandmother and a few other women. I actually have, you know what, I won't get into that, but I had, like my grandmother is a good example, and she was one of those people who worked, and she had, the kids, and then when the grandkids were born, she was taking care of the grandkids, and my grandmother did not last long. My grandmother passed away when she was like, I don't know, 60 something, or like 60 years old, which is not old, you know what I mean? So, you know, and when I think about that, like, that's one of the people that I always think of when it's like, and she was one of those people that was like, oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta that, you gotta hustle. It was kind of, she didn't say hustle. I'm like, my grandmother's been gone for like what, over 30 years already. So, but you know, she was kind of like one of those people that was in that energy all the time, where she felt like she had to do everything all the time. And she did, and it costed her life. You know, the body breaks down, and I don't think that women are really built for that. The gender who is built for that is men. And I know that I'm saying that, and I know that that might upset some people, but it is what it is. You know, the ones who are physically built for all of that rough life is men. And it's like, what the world wants is for women to become men. And there's even men out there that are okay with women becoming men. All right. So I think that's it. I don't think I have much else to say. I was, again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms who are watching me. And you're doing a good job. Whoever's watching me, you're doing a good job. If you're not hearing it from anybody and you're watching this video and you're hearing it from me, you're doing a fantastic job. Okay. This is not, it's not an easy job. Being a mom is not an easy job, especially if you're concerned about doing the right thing and you want things, your kids to be on the right path. It's terrifying. It is. And, we don't get the credit that we deserve, and we should. And the best way, in my opinion, for that to start happening is if women as a whole, even if you're not a mother, start putting yourself first. Start demanding things, from family, from your spouse, especially if the kid's father is around. Start demanding things for yourself, okay? Start demanding things for your life, for what it is that you want. Start putting your foot down and start putting yourself first. So this way you're not, running on empty and not being able to take care of your kids the way that you want to or the way that you should, because you're so drained. Okay. But that's it. I'm going to go for now, and I guess I will see you all in my next video. Happy Mother's Day. Take it easy, guys. Bye.